Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into what I'd call a highly analytical yet incredibly practical masterclass in observability. We're going to explore a feature that is absolutely pivotal for drastically reducing your team's mean time to resolution during those critical IT incidents. We're talking about Grafana annotations. If you want to stop guessing and actually start knowing exactly what's happening in your systems, well, you are definitely in the right place.
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture the visceral, all-too-familiar scenario. You're an IT support engineer and you're staring intensely at a dark-themed Grafana dashboard. Out of absolutely nowhere, an error rate metric spikes massively at exactly 1432. Your adrenaline jumps, right? But what actually caused it? Was it a new code deployment? A subtle network configuration change? Maybe a third-party API outage? Without immediate context, you're left completely blind, scrambling through a dozen different systems while the clock is just ticking away.
And right here is the core issue we face in incident response. We so often focus our dashboards entirely on the symptom, that sudden latency, that CPU spike, or that crazy error rate jump. But what we desperately need on that exact same screen is the context. We need the specific deployment, the scaling event, or the configuration marker that actually triggered the symptom in the first place. It's a massive paradigm shift. Knowing when something changed in your environment is quite literally just as important as knowing that something changed.
So here's our roadmap for solving this mystery together. 1. Context, the missing metric. 2. UI, adding manual annotations. 3. Data sources, querying events. 4. HTTP API, automating context. And 5. Scenario, 90-second root cause.
Section 1. Context, the missing metric. Simply put, annotations are your way to overlay rich event information directly on top of your graphs. They show up as these distinct vertical lines and little icons right on your time series panels. So the crucial point is, annotations bridge that massive gap between raw, passive metrics and active, readable operational timelines. They take abstract numbers and turn them into a story. You aren't just looking at a line wiggling up or down anymore, you're looking at the actual narrative of your infrastructure, complete with the major plot points of what human or automated actions happened at that exact same millisecond.
Section 2. UI, adding manual annotations.
Now, while automation is our ultimate goal here, manual annotations are absolutely critical during that chaotic, exploratory phase of an incident. If you're following along on a sandbox like Grafana Play, adding one is a super brisk process. Step 1, you just click a data point on the panel. Step 2, add a descriptive label, maybe toss in a ticket link and some tags. And Step 3, hit save. That's really the whole shebang. Oh, and a quick pro tip. Pressing Control or Command and clicking anywhere on the panel instantly brings up the tooltip. And actually, if you hold Control or Command and drag your mouse, you can create a region annotation, which is just perfect for highlighting a span of time, like a scheduled maintenance window.
Section 3. Data sources, querying events.
Of course, in a complex environment, you can't rely entirely on engineers furiously clicking on dashboards. We need to pull those events in dynamically. To do this, Grafana gives us two distinct paths. First up is the built-in query. This just fetches the manual annotations we literally just talked about, which are stored natively right in the Grafana database and originate from your current dashboard. The second path is the external query. This one fetches annotations dynamically using an external data source. So this means you can write a query using Loki, Prometheus, or InfluxDB to automatically translate your log streams or database events into visual markers directly on your graph.
Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is how these three distinct architectural methods actually feed into your visual annotations layer. If you look at the manual built-in approach, it stores data in the Grafana database, and it's mostly for ad hoc notes. The data source queries pull from external databases like InfluxDB or Prometheus, making it ideal for surfacing automated alerts. And then we have the external API, which writes directly to the Grafana database. This right here is your golden ticket for integrating CI/CD deployments and automated pipelines.
Section 4. HTTP API, automating context. All right, this is where it gets really fun. This is where we stop relying on human memory and start injecting context straight from our deployment tools. To automate this, you just execute a standard curl post request to the Grafana API endpoint containing a specific JSON payload. Imagine running a curl-x post followed by your Grafana API URL and passing in a JSON block. Let's break down those payload fields. You've got text, which is just the description of the event, something like deployed version 2.1. Then there's time, which is the timestamp formatted as an epoch number in milliseconds.
You can also throw in time end if you're defining a region instead of just a single point in time. And importantly, you have tags like deployment or production, which lets your dashboards dynamically filter these events. By implementing this ridiculously simple curl command, your CI/CD pipeline, whether that's GitHub Actions, Jenkins, or GitLab, programmatically pushes a deployment marker right to your dashboard the exact second a new build goes live.
Section 5. Scenario. 90-second root cause.
Let's move to the climax and see how this all builds together. Let's revisit that high-stakes incident from the very beginning. It's 14:30, your CI/CD pipeline finishes a build and automatically hits that HTTP API, pushing a clean deployment annotation straight to Grafana. Fast forward to 14:32, and the error rate suddenly spikes on the dashboard. But this time, at 14:33, the responding engineer opens the dashboard and sees the red line of the error spike perfectly overlapping with the vertical automated deployment marker. Boom, you've got an instant root cause found in mere seconds. There's no frantic Slack messaging, no desperate digging through CI/CD logs, just an immediate, perfectly correlated visual answer.
And this brilliantly illustrates the true power of the platform. Annotations turn raw metrics into actionable stories. By investing just a little bit of time in this capability, you entirely eliminate the massive amount of time wasted context switching between your deployment logs, your ticketing systems, and your observability dashboards. You're effectively consolidating the entire narrative of your system into a single, undeniable pane of glass.
I want to leave you with a bit of a provocation for you and your engineering team. Stop guessing during high-stress incidents. What operational context will you automate onto your dashboards today? Whether it's mapping out deployments, tracking feature flag toggles, or highlighting scheduled maintenance windows, the tools are literally right there waiting for you, and you can go test them out right now on Grafana Play. Go build that robust, contextual observability. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy monitoring.